Look, everybody knows Mr. Blue Sky, right? It's a classic, you can't deny it. But what if I told you that the genius behind ELO, Jeff Lynne, actually wrote at least 5 songs that are, dare I say it, even better? Yeah, we're going to count them down. And you're going to want to stick around for number 1 because it has this crazy connection to the Beatles that will absolutely blow your mind.
Okay, so let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Is Mr. Blue Sky kind of overrated? Now hold on. Before you rush to the comments, just hear me out. It is a masterpiece of pop for sure, but its success is so massive, it's like this giant shadow that's hiding some of ELO's most incredible, most groundbreaking stuff. And that's exactly what we're going to dig up today.
And it's not just in your head, right? That song is literally everywhere. You hear it in movies, you hear it in commercials, and now, of course, it's getting the whole TikTok treatment, just like what happened with Fleetwood Mac or ABBA. And when a song just becomes a 20-second soundbite, well, it starts to feel less like this incredible piece of art and more like, I don't know, background noise. But see, the real magic, the true genius of Jeff Lynne and ELO, that's hidden in the deep cuts. So today, you and I, we're on a mission. We are digging past the obvious hits, and we're going to count down the top 5 songs that I think prove his genius even more than Mr. Blue Sky. All right, you ready to kick this thing off? So what's at number 5? Well, coming in at number 5 is the one that literally started it all. You could call it the Big Bang of the ELO universe. Yep, it's 10538 Overture. I mean, this is the very first song on their debut album. This track is the blueprint. It is the exact moment the ELO sound was born out of thin air. And the story behind this song is just, it's amazing. It actually started as this throwaway backing track for their old band, The Move. But Jeff Lynne, he had this crazy new idea for a sound, and right around then, his bandmate Roy Wood goes out and buys a cheap Chinese cello, and what does he do? He starts playing it like a Jimi Hendrix guitar, just this wild new sound. So they just started layering cello track after cello track, creating this rock orchestra. It was pure chaos, and it was brilliant. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Here's what Roy Wood said about it. I ended up putting loads of them on, and it sounded like an orchestra. That's how the whole thing started. Can you believe that? It wasn't some grand master plan. It was just a happy accident, an experiment that ended up creating a legendary sound. So there's our first contender, the raw, explosive birth of a totally new sound, versus the polished, perfect joy of Mr. Blue Sky. Which one's more genius? Get in the comments below, let's start the debate. Okay, on to number 4. All right, coming in at number 4, this is the song that took that initial experiment and just cranked it up to 11. It's their completely over-the-top, audacious cover of Roll Over Beethoven. I mean, this track is just pure, beautiful audacity. They took a Chuck Berry rock anthem and literally slammed it headfirst into Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. It was basically their mission statement in a single song, shouting to the world, we are a rock band that plays like an orchestra, and we are an orchestra that plays like a rock band. And this massive 8-minute epic, it became their breakthrough top 10 hit, the song that really defined them for everybody. Think about that, mashing up a classical masterpiece with a rock and roll classic. Talk about ambition. But is it more genius than Mr. Blue Sky? You know what to do, drop your thoughts below. The competition is definitely heating up. Okay, we are into the top 3 now, and at number 3, we have the song that I think is the moment Jeff Lynne truly perfected his pop formula. It is the absolute classic, Livin' Thing. See, this is where Jeff Lynne goes from being a rock experimenter to a master pop craftsman. The hooks, you can't get them out of your head. That soulful groove, it's just infectious. And the strings, they aren't just an effect anymore. They are the driving force. They are the melody. And while Mr. Blue Sky is all about pure happy-go-lucky joy, Livin' Thing has this soulful depth to it, a musical complexity that just hits you in a totally different way. So now we're getting to the real heavy hitters. Is Living Thing the peak? A perfect pop song? Let us know what you think. We've still got 2 more to go, and trust me, our number 2 pick, it's going to be a controversial one. Okay, you might want to brace yourselves for this one, because my number 2 pick is the big, stomping, stadium rock anthem, Don't Bring Me Down. And here is the ultimate irony, okay? The band that was literally defined by its violins and cellos scored one of its absolute biggest and heaviest rock tracks with a song that has, wait for it, no string section at all. 0. If that isn't proof that Jeff Lynne's genius went way beyond the orchestra, I don't know what is. So, you're probably wondering, where did that iconic boom, thwack drum beat come from? Well, it wasn't a drummer. Nope. It was a 2-bar tape loop from a totally different song.
Lynne literally created the loop by winding the tape around a mic stand and a pencil in the studio. Then he just crushed the snare sound with a compressor until it was this flat, explosive sound. It's just pure, raw production wizardry, and the result is one of the most powerful rock sounds of its time.
So let's be real. An ELO song with no strings, is it actually better than Mr. Blue Sky? I know, this is where the debate gets really real. So tell me your thoughts below. Is this proof of his genius versatility, or is it just wrong? All right, and now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The #1 ELO song that's better than Mr. Blue Sky. The one with that shocking Beatles connection I promised you at the beginning. Are you ready? The #1 ELO song that I believe is better than Mr. Blue Sky is Showdown. This song is just a masterclass in songwriting, in production. It is pure, undeniable cool. And here it is, the big one, the Beatles connection. After hearing this song for the very first time, John Lennon gave ELO a nickname. He called them Son of Beatles. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the ultimate compliment, coming from one of the greatest songwriters who ever lived.
And that's why this is #1. Showdown is this perfect mix of American soul, British rock, and that signature ELO orchestral polish. In fact, Lennon said it sounded like a blend of I Heard It Through the Grapevine and Lightning Strikes. This was the song that proved Jeff Lynne wasn't just imitating his heroes, he was operating on their level. He was their equal.
And get this, that Son of Beatles nickname, it wasn't just a cool compliment, it was basically a prophecy. Because years later, when George Harrison was planning his huge comeback album, Cloud 9, he needed a producer. And who did he call? He called Jeff Lynne. He specifically wanted that Son of Beatles production magic for his own record. And what happened? The collaboration gave George a #1 hit. A Beatle didn't just admire Jeff Lynne's genius, he needed it.
So, there you have it, Showdown, the song that got John Lennon's seal of approval and led to a #1 hit with George Harrison. Is it the true ELO masterpiece? I've made my case, but now I really want to hear yours. What's your #1? Let's settle this debate in the comments. And hey, if you had fun geeking out on this stuff, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button for more. Hey, thanks so much for watching and digging into these hidden ELO gems with me. We're going to be back really soon to uncover some more underrated masterpieces. So make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it.